I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known.
Central really is your action station tonight. In about 5 minutes, Edward Woodward stars in Callan, a tense thriller taken from the popular TV series. And later, those men from U.N.C.L.E. will be grappling with international villains. In a couple of ticks, though, the news headlines.
Buy this Qualcast Concord before June and get this free £20 edge trimmer. The Qualcast Concord, a perfect result, no bother.
I bet he drinks Carling Black Label. Oh, the next bloke through that door.
Watch out. Give us a pint of aftershave. Whew.
Straight glasser.
Your best bet for a fuller flavour.
April Fool's Day was no joke for Mr. and Mrs. Smith of Kent. While they were out with their daughter and future son-in-law, an uninvited guest was carving up their home. When the Smiths returned, their plans for a glittering wedding were shattered. The first thing we did was make sure the locks were changed. Then our man saw to the rest of their claims. Though we can't always replace the irreplaceable, our check ensured that the wedding had plenty of sparkle. Commercial Union. We won't make a drama out of a crisis.
Cornwall's Pride, a Ginster's pasty made with prime beef and fresh vegetables, selected swede, potato and onion, and a subtle blend of seasoning. Delicious puff pastry, crimped by hand in the traditional way, and baked to perfection in Cornwall. It's a meal in itself. Ginster's pasties, the pride of Cornwall.
The signs are unmistakable. A change is taking place. More and more people are having their first taste of NutraSweet, the remarkable sweetening ingredient that brings the sweet taste you love to all kinds of good things, with only a fraction of the calories. Look for NutraSweet in your favorite products. NutraSweet, the taste the world is turning to.
The world of wood has many enemies. But thanks to ICI, the wood protection range from Dulux keeps the enemy without out, which leaves your wood looking good longer. Dulux Natural Wood Care. It's a rotten world without it.
Not here yet, then?
No. Only half an hour late.
I don't know why we're going to all this trouble.
He's your brother.
Yeah, you invited them.
All right, all right. Just give me a hand, will you?
What's all this for?
Uncle Bob and Auntie Jean, of course.
But they phoned this morning to say they couldn't come. Ah.
Alice.
In just a little while, Edward Woodward has difficulty sorting out the goodies from the baddies in Callan. That's soon, but now it's midnight on Central, and time for the ITN news headlines.
One of the two sisters sent from Birmingham to the Yemen as child brides 8 years ago has finally returned to Britain. Zeinab Badawi, now 23, was reunited with her mother Maryam Ali, who campaigned for her daughter's return. Miss Badawi was allowed to leave after being granted a divorce, but her sister Nadia has not been allowed a divorce and still remains in Yemen. 54 people were killed and more than 100 injured in Lebanon's worst car bomb for 3 years. A car packed with 300 pounds of explosives blew up in a crowded vegetable market in the Syrian-controlled port of Tripoli. The blast made a deep crater and devastated the surrounding area. Hundreds of shoppers buying food for Ramadan were caught in the blast. Casualty figures were so high, local hospitals were forced to appeal for blood donors. Syrian troops immediately set up checkpoints around the area and searched cars. Christian and Muslim leaders denounced the bombing as a massacre aimed at innocent people. It's thought the bomb may have been planted by an anti-Syrian faction or by feuding Muslim militia, but no one has admitted planting it yet. P&O ferries have flown skeleton crews to Holland and France in efforts to break the strike by Dover seamen and release ships stranded abroad. The company says it will resume cross-channel services early next week. The National Union of Seamen has been on strike in Dover for 3 months in a dispute over redundancies and working practices. It's been attacked by P&O's Managing Director, Graham Dunlop.
Unfortunately, the threat of violence and intimidation is now occurring. We have evidence of people's children being threatened, of threats to throw bricks through windows, of damage to cars and all this sort of thing, which is absolutely outrageous.
An opinion poll in the Observer newspaper puts the Conservatives back ahead of Labour. It's only 3 days after a different survey showed Labour in the lead for the first time in more than a year, with a 1-point advantage. But the new figures put the Conservatives on 44%, 5 points in front of Labour. The Democrats have 10% and Dr. David Owen's SDP 5%. And that's it for now. Join us for more news later.
Good with a gun, lethal with a knife, and a karate expert. Who else but Callan?